Hello everybody and happy Monday. You're here at Stock Picks by Tim, and in this video I'm going to go over Sphere 3D or ANY stock. And this one I haven't talked about in quite a while, and I wanted to just give you an update. They actually released their earnings a couple days ago. I was totally asleep at the wheel and completely missed it. But in this video I'm going to give you my thoughts. I'm going to give you some positives and some negatives because I think we've got a little bit of each. And let's get right into that earnings data. If you don't mind, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It definitely helps me out in the YouTube algorithm, and I appreciate every one of you. Now, first off, this was reported May 16th. I totally slept on this one, but I wanted to give you my thoughts on it. I'm still a shareholder of Sphere 3D. I haven't been adding to this one. I have told you in my last video, which was probably a couple of months ago now, that I'm just going to hold it, let it do its thing. I have a built out position. I'm not going to continue to add to this one. I'm not going to continue to over leverage myself or add more exposure, add more risk to this one. I'll take my position that I have and ride it out to the end of the year, for better or for worse. So now that you're up to speed on what I've been doing with Sphere 3D, let's get into some numbers here. Their revenue was actually 1.4 million, which compared to the year previously was 0.9 million, so that's good. And I also wanted to look at something else here. And looking at their previous quarters, this does look good. This is a good revenue increase compared. Sometimes, you know, when they show the year over year, they don't go previous quarter and they kind of hide out details. But no, this looks good. Good to see that the revenue has increased. And next up, operating costs have actually gone up dramatically. We're looking at 16.5 million compared to 2.2 million. The previous quarter was like something like 14 million. Now, one thing I really wanted to mention here is they do have some digital mining revenue. They got 0.7 million. So likely the reason we have higher revenue than we've ever seen before recently is digital mining revenue was 0.7 million. So add that on top. Add that. That's about half of what they got for revenue. And here's something interesting, and this is a positive that I see. So their Bitcoin production for the first quarter was 18.15 coins. And this is the first quarter that the company produced Bitcoin. Now, when you go down here, you'll see that the company has mined a total of 30 Bitcoin. So this adds the next month. This is the first 4 months of 2022. So this adds another month. So that means they had 18 Bitcoin in the first 3 months, one more month, and they were looking at 30. So they got roughly about 12 Bitcoin in 1 month compared to getting 18 Bitcoin in 3 months. So that is a good thing to see. And when you look at their deliveries, this is one thing that you have to watch out for, okay? So coming out in August of 2022, they're expected to get 5,000 deliveries and then up to 12,000 each month. I want to see that that actually comes out true. But this is an order of a total of 60,000 ant miners, and I've talked about this one a couple of months ago. So they're finally seeing their deliveries on this. This is good. Now, as for, they also ordered the 60,000 new miner NM440s, which are like a new production miner that actually isn't even out yet. It's supposed to be the best in the business. They're still waiting delivery, and they are not held in any way. The company doesn't have them by the balls. They can get out of this one at any time. They can cancel without any penalty. So I don't think this is a big issue, but it is still a slight negative if you think about, you know, them wanting to ramp up their production. Because as you can see, they are limited by what they can actually receive. Seems like towards the end of this year, though, supplies should be better for Bitcoin miners. I want to see that this actually comes out true. I want to see that this comes out true. But like I said, I will be holding till the end of the year. I think it is worth holding. Another thing you have to be aware of is the price is right around $1. If we break under $1, might have to reverse split if we're under $1 for too long and have that delisting fear. So it's possible we might have a reverse split. That's just my thoughts. And also, I wanted to pull up the cash. According to this here, they have cash and cash equivalents of 25 million. This is in thousands, so this is 25 million. So it looks like they may only have a few quarters until they're going to have to likely dilute. So you got to be aware of that. They are not profitable. They are burning cash, and it is expected to remain that way 4 months into the future, for quarters into the future even. And when you look at this, this might look good. Net loss of 14 million or net loss of 23 cents. So we have a net loss of 23 cents a share compared to a net loss of 27 cents a share for the first quarter of 2021. It might look better to you, but you have to consider that this is also due to a lot of dilution. Okay, if you dilute more and more shares, your loss is going to be less per share because there are more of them. So you have to consider that. The same thing if you have a gain. If you dilute a lot of shares, you're going to look like a less EPS gain if you have more of them out there. So that's one thing to consider. I don't see this necessarily as a positive because you see that 14 million gave them a net loss of 23 cents a share, whereas 2.6 million gave them a net loss of 27 cents a share. I definitely don't see that as a positive. Dilution is likely coming around the corner as well. But I'm going to stick around because I do expect their next quarter we're going to have the best revenue we've ever seen, and it will likely continue that way. But just be aware this is very, very high risk. They are not profitable and are not expecting to be anytime soon, as I've said. Now, one thing I did want to mention before I leave you guys is it is encouraging to see that they are trading the most sideways they have ever traded in the last couple months, right here at $1. So keep an eye on this. I'm not going to add to it. I have my small position. I'm going to ride this one out into the end of the year. I'm not willing to leverage more exposure into it. I'm not willing to add more risk. I'm going to just keep it as it is, 1-2% position, and let it ride out to the end of the year, see how things go. I personally think something like CleanSpark would be a lower risk miner, but this is definitely a high risk, high reward miner. Definitely going to keep this one for a while and see where it goes. It could be for the better and it could be for the worse. But that's basically my thoughts on Sphere 3D. Let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking. Are you still shareholders? Have you dropped this one like a bad habit? Have you been buying more? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Take it easy.